Hi everybody, this is foXnoMad, and today I want to help you travel smarter by explaining what Apple's product red is, why you might want to purchase Apple's product red, and how much of your money actually goes to where they say it's going. So you've probably seen some of these bright red Apple products like this iPhone 11, and since 2006, Apple has been working with Product Red to put out products like this to help raise money for HIV and AIDS programs in sub-Saharan Africa. So the Product Red is basically a licensed brand that works with companies like Coca-Cola, Nike, and Apple. And for the privilege of putting their logo and bright red colors on one of their products, the company, in this case Apple, promises to provide some of the profits to the Global Fund, which is working to develop treatments and a cure for HIV/AIDS in sub-Saharan Africa. And since 2006, Apple has put out a number of Product Red products out on the market, like this iPhone 11. So the iPhone 11 comes in 6 different colors, and one of those is a Product Red color. But you can also get an Apple Watch band, you can get cases, you can get the iPod if you still want a Product Red iPod or an iPod in general. But aside from the Product Red logo and the bright red color, there are no differences between the iPhone 11 Product Red and any other iPhone 11. And that's pretty much true of their entire Product Red line for the most part. Aside from the logo and the color, it's pretty much the same product, just in a different branding. And Apple also released the Product Red version of their iPhone SE, which they just announced last week. The color of the red has changed over the years, so it's been a little bit brighter, a little bit darker, but this year on the iPhone 11, it's this bright fire engine red. It really is a deep, beautiful color, and it really stands out, and you can even see it through this Spigen case that I have on top of the phone. It's just a really nice look for the iPhone, even if you put away the charity considerations. It's just a really sleek and nice and vibrant look. Plus, when you turn the flashlight on, you get this nice red ambient glow just around the edges of the phone. And of course, one of the differences, for example, with the iPhone 11 is instead of having this new sort of empty back where they don't have any logo or any kind of markings or anything like that, it does have the Product Red mentioned right on there, so it's got that product branding on there as well. Now that you know what Product Red is, you might be wondering how much of your purchase actually goes to the Global Fund and how much of it is used to help HIV and AIDS research in sub-Saharan Africa. Now the way Product Red works with all of these different brands is they don't have to disclose how much they're donating of the profits from a particular item to the Global Fund. So they don't have to mention how much of the profit actually goes to the Global Fund. But late last year, Apple announced for 1 week they were going to give $1 for every purchase of an Apple Red product to the Global Fund. So the profit on the iPhone 11 is about $280. The phone costs $700 new, unless you use their trade-in program, which I'll link to up there. But basically, Apple gets $280 in profits for the sale of each of these phones. So $1 from the sale of a Product Red iPhone 11 isn't much when you look at the overall percentage. But if you think about things like a case where the profit margin is a lot higher, so $1 is a bigger percentage there. But if you think about it, if Apple is advertising that they're giving away $1 for every Product Red that they sell, then they're probably donating less than that on average in general. Apple last year also announced that they've been working with Product Red for the last 13 years, and in that time they've raised $220 million for the Global Fund. And that's no small amount when you think about it, because the Global Fund actually represents 20% of all HIV and AIDS research, period, just in the world. So Apple is a major contributor to the Global Fund because they are the biggest contributor to the Global Fund right now. So they're doing a big part in helping HIV and AIDS research in sub-Saharan Africa. One of the criticisms of Product Red is that the companies don't have to disclose how much they're actually donating from the profit of each product, but it's clear that Apple is doing a pretty big part with all things considered. Now, if you want to break this down a little bit by numbers, Apple doesn't disclose how much they give to Product Red, and they don't disclose the full breakdown of how many products they sell, how many iPhone 11, how many iPhone 11 Pro that they sell. So if we calculate this to say, based on Apple's quarterly announcements, that they sold about 220 million iPhones last year, and they had about 10 iPhones on the market at any given time, so new iPhones on sale, divide that by 10, and you come up with a number of about 22 million iPhone Product Red just based on averages. So if they're giving $1 per every iPhone, that'd be $22 million a year. Since Apple has said they've given $220 million over the last 13 years, which comes out to about $16 million a year, so we can easily assume that they're giving less than $1 for every iPhone Product Red sale to the Global Fund. So it's not more than $1 that Apple is giving per sale of an iPhone 11, for example, but it's probably close to $1 per sale that Apple has given overall through the Product Red program. So for an iPhone, they might be giving, let's say, like 30 cents, but for the other products, there might be a much higher percentage closer to that dollar number because those products are less expensive and there's a bigger profit margin on those products. Now, one of the bigger criticisms of the Product Red program is that a huge portion of their budget goes to advertising and branding. So a lot of the money that Product Red has raised doesn't actually go to research and development. A lot of it, the bulk of it, does go to advertising and branding and marketing and working with different companies. So that being one of the major criticisms, your purchase of the iPhone 11 or Product Red, Apple, anything probably isn't making a huge difference. You're better off just giving directly to a reputable AIDS charity, and I'll link to some of those down in the description below. But overall, just you don't lose anything by buying something that's Product Red, and this phone does look pretty slick. It is a pretty slick looking phone. The red is a really nice color. It really is vibrant and it's really different from the rest of Apple's sort of the toned down colors they have on the rest of the iPhones. This is really bright and it really stands out, and at least some of it does go to helping HIV and AIDS research in sub-Saharan Africa. But if you really want to make a bigger difference, check out some of those charities I've linked below. But there you have it. That's how much of a purchase of an iPhone 11 Product Red goes to the global fund. It's not $1, but it's probably not too terribly far off from that dollar mark. Hopefully you found this video useful. If you have, hit the like and the subscribe button down below. I'll have new videos for you every week. Thanks very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. A nice look for the iPhone, all things aside. Even the other products, even if you put away the charity